And looking at this issue personally, I just thought, initially of course, I thought parents were to be blamed. What up guys, welcome back. My name is Luke. Guys, thank you so much to those of you who showed support on the last video. Thank you. So today's topic, in line with a tragic event that took place a week back. Quite sensitive, but could have been avoided, and I'll state my reasons why later on. So ladies and gentlemen, with that said, I really couldn't get the initial video because it was quite sensitive, so we're gonna watch the news report on the whole entire event. So let's do so.
This follows a video showing a girl assaulting another learner at one of the best performing schools in the country, Mbilu Secondary School in Sibasa, outside Thohoyandou in Limpopo. Our SABC News reporter Pimani Baloyi is at the school. We're now close to her live for the latest on this story. Pimani, what's happening where you are?
Good afternoon, Desiree. Yes, as you've mentioned, we are at the entrance of the Mbilu Secondary School in Limpopo. This is one of the best performing schools in the country, where we've seen learners being on top of the list of top performing matriculants. But it came as a shock yesterday when a video started trending on social media where a grade 10 learner from this school was assaulting another grade 10 learner. This assault was very painful because how it seemed on the video, I've seen the video and many have seen the video, it seemed like the assaulter was unprovoked and she just went into the learner and started beating her up, and the other learner never responded or beat her back. So what is currently happening right now is that we're at the gate of the school and we were not allowed into the entrance of the school, where school management told us, you know, it's during school hours, we cannot come and disrupt learning and teaching. But right now, as you can see, there's a rotational timetable happening where some learners started going to school at 11, and since then they've been brought in by, you know, scholar transport, bringing them to the school to see what is happening. And you know, as you can see behind me, there's a lot of commotion happening at the school. This is like the second wave of commotion, where the first I don't even know if you can hear me at all, but these learners are chanting that there should be justice for Lufuno, where we learned that
it is alleged that the perpetrator, of course the bully, attacked the victim because she had blocked her on WhatsApp and Facebook, and this is due to the fact that the bully was sending abusive messages to the victim. And so the ending really showed that this bullying was an ongoing thing that only happened to be considered, of course, to be noticed, because it added tragic ending to it. Because even studies show that suicide-related behaviors are really the result of a single traumatic or stressful event. So my point exactly, guys, this could have been avoided, and no one deserves to be treated the way this perpetrator treated the other girl. So my question is, where were other students when this was happening? I mean, if someone had intervened, this was not going to take place, and it was not going to end the way that it did. And I find it so abhorrent in a way that there were some students recording this whole thing without intervening in all the situation. I mean, was it really worth it? Of course not. I guess some people really put their phones before anyone's life, and it has actually become a trend where you see people in a tragic event, you see people, you know, take out their phones before they can even intervene. So this got me asking, I mean, who's to blame in the whole situation? Because in my generation, it was quite different. And nowhere will you see a child from a fully functional home behave like this. And looking at this issue personally, I just thought, initially, of course, I thought parents were to be blamed. But then again, okay, and these are my reasons why, because parents are responsible for educating their kids, and teachers are not responsible for educating anyone's kids. And majority of time, even when you report to teachers, they don't intervene at all. So what's the point? But then again, I watched this video. Then I came across another video. and I knew something was up. Because these two videos are from the same school. These are the same learners from that similar school. Then I think I reached the conclusion that something is up with the school. Because in my generation, it was different. In nowhere will you fight or bully another person in your school uniform. Even if you do it outside the school without them knowing, if it's reported to the school, you are going to be suspended, because there were rules in place, and these rules, students had to abide by these rules. In nowhere will you, as a student of so-and-so school, behave in this manner. So it was different. And a lot of people were blaming government school. No, it's not about that. It's just rules set in the school. In as much as this school is the most, they say it's the top school in the area and they perform better. But then again, when it comes to behavior, you can see they have no rules in place, to restrict such behaviors. And in this case, parents are not really to be blamed. Even though, of course, generally speaking, studies show that majority of time, parents who are overly aggressive are equally likely to have children who bully. And they concluded, of course, that there's a connection between bullying and being exposed to violence. But in this case, it's not parents at all. The only ones to really blame here is the school governing bodies and the principal. Because you can obviously tell that they don't have rules in place to somehow constrain this sort of behaviors, this repulsive sort of behaviors. Hence, the whole environment, the whole school is somehow conducive for such repulsive behaviors that we can't tolerate. And it's only fair that the police had to be involved and that charges had to be pressed. Of course, charges were pressed on the basis of assault, and at least that way this will serve as a warning sign to many others. I think the girl still has to go for trial, I think on the 20th. So I'm doing this video, this is the 18th, so let's see what happens. And yes, we need justice. We need justice so that people can really learn to keep their hands to themselves. You have no right. And worse, an African mother's child, an African parent's child. Guys, hey, I still remember when my brother was sort of bullied. It was not a continuous thing. It was just a thing that took place. He was in grade 8. And at that time, I'd, of course, matriculated. So this guy, who was a matric by then, ordered my brother. I don't know if it was part of initiation, because at school we normally had the initiation process and all for newly comers for grade 8. I don't know if this was all part of it, but then this foolish boy, whom I know, ordered my brother to pick up a dustbin from one place to another, and it was hot. My brother had on his blazer. Upon arriving home, he complained to my mother, and guess what? My mother was at that school, early in the morning, guys, to complain. And of course, the school hit this child because, hey, yeah, guys, my mother was furious. She was boiling. And this is just to show, guys, we can't tolerate this type of behaviors. It should not be tolerated. And adults should intervene at any point in time. But then again, of course, the 21st century, where people take out their phones instead of intervening in the whole situation. No, we want to capture this, of course, cool moment. This could have been avoided by just someone saying something. This could have been avoided, but no. Few moments of fame has led us to a loss of a life. Was it worth it? Not in any way. And only now, that's when we're reacting. Personally, it's quite disappointing. It gets you questioning, who are the people in charge? Who's running the school? Who's the principal? This can really open up a lot of topic, a lot of aspects to the whole situation. But I guess this is not the place and this is not the time. And the worst part is I feel like this is also what, pushed the girl to the point where she had to commit suicide, was the fact that they uploaded this video on the internet. Yeah, it shocks me. It shocks me every single day. I'm just shocked at the stupidity in society at this point. How did we come here? How did we reach here? The first thing people think about when an event is happening is, damn, let me upload it to Facebook so that it can trend. Was it worth it? Was this thing worth it? Of course not. And I'm just glad that they press charges on the basis of assault, and at least the law can take it into their hands. And I hope the Department of Education will intervene in the whole situation so that it's avoided, in as much as we can give them credit with regards to their performance and all. But that does not mean they're doing the right thing when it comes to monitoring the behaviors of students. They're not doing the right thing. So on that area, they need to fix. And we need to question who's in charge, who should be in charge and who should not be in charge. I think the government or the Department of Education should start looking into these things, because this really matter. It's different from schools we went to, in as much as people can state, oh no, it's government school, this is how things run. No, it's different for some of us. We went to government school and it was never like this. Never, never, in no way. Yes, we had fights, but not bullying. Students, you see student fighting, but not bullying. And at the end of the day, even these fights had repercussions to it, because it was against the school's rules and policies. So in no way will a school permit such behaviors to continuously happen, because it seems like this is a norm at the school. They've actually popularized fighting and all this. So guys, there you have it. Most probably I'm gonna be bringing on someone on the next one to just talk about bullying in general, because we see it everywhere. We see it at our workplaces, we see it in church, we saw it in school, and worse. I'm not talking about physical bullying, I'm talking about verbal wise, because that one is the worst. Because personally, I still remember what was told, and you know what was told to me as early as grade 3, grade 5. I still remember it. So we're gonna be covering that on the next one. Please do watch out for that video. So guys, that's my take, and that was my take on the whole issue. Please don't forget to leave your comment below. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Please do share my videos. I really appreciate it, guys. It's quite motivating and encouraging since I'm doing this, you know, since I'm starting this off. And well, I'll see you on the next one, guys. Ciao.